Hello and welcome to Portland State University's CTF walkthrough channel. This is the walkthrough for Hex2Raw. This program requires some unprintable characters as input, but how do you print unprintable characters? CLI yourself to this path and turn that hex to raw. Here's the hint. So let's first change directory to that path they give us. Once we're here, we can ls to see what files are here. There's a flag, Hex2Raw, and input. If we try to cat flag, because that's the obvious way to solve it, it tells us permission is denied. So clearly, we can't just do that. If we run Hex2Raw, we see that it gives us a hexadecimal number, and they want it in raw form. Pretty sure that means ASCII form. So we don't have the solution yet, so let's Control-C that. If we run it again, though, we see that it's the exact same hexadecimal number, so it's not randomized every time, and we can use that to our advantage. So the hint says to Google for easy techniques, and what may come to your mind is to Google for, hex to raw converter online, but I guarantee you, I've tried some of these, none of them work, so please don't use those because they don't work. Instead, we can do this nifty thing in command line called XXD. We can man XXD, man is for manual, so we read the manual page for XXD, and it tells us that XXD makes a hex dump or does the reverse. So a hex dump would be converting raw to hex, and since we want the reverse, which is hex to raw, we would have to use option R with XXD, which reverses it, so hex to raw, along with option P, so that we have plain text, which is what PicoCTF's program requires. So if we run xxd-r-p, it gives us space to input some, say, hexadecimal number and prints out what it is. That clearly contains unprintable characters, so that means we can't just directly copy this. So it's not quite as easy as taking this, pasting into here, and copying it over. Instead, we have to use pipes. So piping allows you to take the output from one process and put it into the input of another one. So if I were to, say, echo hexadecimal number, what this normally does, it simply prints what you entered into command line. It very literally echoes what you put in. But if I instead echo and pipe that into our previous command, it takes the output from echo, which would be what you inputted, and it inputs that into XXD. So in this case, I get those unprintable characters I need to output. If I take this one step further and I pipe this into the original process, the Hex2Raw program, then I am taking echo, I'm taking its output, putting it into XXD, and then I'm taking the output of XXD and putting it into Hex2Raw. So if we run this, it doesn't show what we inputted. That's okay, though, because we still get the flag. And we take this flag, we can copy it, paste it, and the challenge is complete.